The UK, a country with some of the world's most beautiful natural landscapes and iconic attractions. A global cultural titan, influencing trends in music, film, architecture, politics,
What do you do with Big Chungus?
and lifestyle. You have not experienced raw UK culture until you see a shoeless crackhead freestyling to people while riding the underground. Culturally, the UK is one of the most impactful countries worldwide. Don't believe me? Here's proof from a UK citizen. Not only did we give the world the Beatles, David Bowie, and Ricky Gervais, but we also gave it cultural phenomenons like Christopher Nolan, responsible for making the Dark Knight trilogy and the film Tenet, all of which are widely regarded for having incredible audio mixing. As someone cursed with being born in the UK, I can confidently say that I love to hate my country. If you're also from the UK, you can probably completely understand what I'm saying. Like, I do genuinely like living here. But this country is a grey depressing hellscape with zero natural colour except for summertime. We live in rain and cold most of the time. But unlike many other Western European countries, we are massively slacking on the quality of life index. Bro, literally all of Scandinavia are completely destroying the UK on this index. I mean, when our best dish looks like this, it's completely understandable why our quality of life is worse. People work 9 to 5s to come home to this. Like, they sit at work all day looking forward to food that looks like this. You cannot be serious. But at least in summer, it actually looks like a nice place. I just wanted to say that this sort of video has been made thousands of times before, but it feels like it's obligatory for British YouTubers to make at some point. So I guess it's my turn. Everyone knows London. Americans seem to think it's the only place in the UK, and the rest is just this filled infinitely. London is stereotyped as the place where people stab each other, but I'm here to dispel that stereotype, because it's actually the place where people get acid attacked and then stabbed. You dummy. London is genuinely a really good city. It's a centre of culture and opportunity in a country that is mostly farmland. Basically anything that actually matters in the UK is in London. And the rest of the UK is purely just background noise, to be honest. I'll be for real, no one knows what's happening in Peterborough, bro. No one's even heard of it. London has the best everything in the UK. Careers, stores, entertainment, and infrastructure. But somehow, it's equally as grey and depressing as everywhere else on this cursed island. Look at this place, man. London Underground is one of the best things to ever happen to a city. If you live somewhere with an underground metro, you'll know this. It's like real-life time travel, as the deafening sound of the train gets amplified through the permanently open windows and it concusses your small brain so you have no perception of time. From your perspective, you got on at London Victoria, felt ringing in your head, and the next thing you know you're walking out of King's Cross Station with a nosebleed and 20 minutes has passed. And you've probably also been stabbed, but that's besides the point. But seriously though, why is it so fucking loud on the underground? And the hot air that comes through the windows boils you. It's just a loud, rattly death oven. If you decide to venture outside of London, many other places in England are softly falling apart. What does that mean? It means this. Some cities in the UK are nice places with growing economies, career opportunities and transport, except for Birmingham. This place is a complete anomaly in the UK. It is unique. No hate to the people from Birmingham. It's the council who have absolutely cooked this city. For example, they decided to spend £188 million on a library instead of investing into housing projects or communities. Or maybe they could clear up the city centre so it doesn't look like this. Building that library was such a waste of money, considering people from Birmingham can't even read. What are they going to do with the books? Eat them? I'm so sorry, brother. It seems like the formula for the average UK city is for the city centre to be clean and modern, and anywhere else outside of that is a complete wasteland left to rot since it was built. But there are two types of cities. Every city either looks like this, or like something from a Disney film. Streets that look like something from The Last of Us are a surprisingly common sight in the UK. I don't know what it is about English people, but they literally can't stop themselves from littering. A lot. Random streets in some cities are just designated dumping grounds, and you just see piles of random trash that people have just mutually agreed to dump there. However, Birmingham seems to subvert expectations because its city centre looks like this, and the outskirts are like this. If you live in Birmingham, I feel bad for you because I cannot imagine having to pay to live somewhere where this is my daily view. Honestly, countless towns face the same problem in the UK of looking post-apocalyptic, but at least the rent in Birmingham is way below average. But I guess you don't pay with your money to live there, you pay with your sanity. As I've exclusively been bullying Birmingham, here are a couple good things about it. It has huge diversity, it's a cultural hub as significant as London, it's affordable, and is one of the greenest cities in Europe. Whilst Birmingham's negative reputation is somewhat undeserved, many towns in the UK do live up to that poor reputation. So many towns are places that have been economically dying for about 40 years, as basically nothing happens there. No job opportunities, fewer skilled workers, and no significant investment from the government. Many of them are old coastal or industrial towns that no longer have a purpose as their industries are completely dead. So many communities are isolated there, with decreasing and aging populations as younger residents leave to find work in cities. This results in towns like this existing. But people just continue to try and make something for themselves in these places, which is respectable. British people seem to just get on with life, no matter how hard things get. They are crazy resilient to adversity. That honestly might be the only positive thing I'm going to say in this entire video. Bro, that peasant phenotype really carries our country. Shout out to them, bro. Real respect. 1500s are genetics. Realistically, British people have inherited good values through centuries of hardship, like wars, poor living conditions, invasions, and having to eat food that looks like this all the time. One plate of existential dread, please, sir. Some European countries get a bad reputation for their food, but the UK is completely deserving of theirs. What is this? Who made this? Toad in the hole. Spotted dick. Bubble and squeak. Bedfordshire clanger. Who the fuck is naming these? Arrest them, please. I don't know what happened with the UK when it came to food. We literally made some evil things, and somehow people enjoyed them. At least now, a lot of it is purely historical, and people don't eat these sorts of foods anymore. Thank God I'm not fully English. I know some person from the UK is watching this right now, and thinking, but we made tikka masala! No you didn't. South Asian migrants made it here. A lion-ass Brit. I think I'd also be quite mentally resilient if I had to eat one plate from hell every day too. Suddenly, working in the mines wouldn't seem so bad, bro. I don't think it gets much worse than having this shit slide down my throat. Pause. If you ever hear slander about UK food, just remember it's completely valid. It's completely deserving of everything bad it gets. Housing. I don't even know if it's worth talking about housing because it's completely fucked everywhere. Most places worth living in are gonna cost you more than you can afford as a young person. And that's if you can even get employed without 5 years experience and giving the interviewer a handjob. Rent prices are crazy and your landlord, I mean land chad, is gonna make you live in a 4-meter cube with black mold growing everywhere and probably decide to up your rent when you need to go to hospital. Why? Because he can, and you're not paying enough rentoid. Unironically though, how are people... How are people expected to grow up when we cannot make the money required to have independence? It's pretty fucked, but hopefully Labour committing to building houses can help fix the situation for Gen Z, as at the moment, it feels like there's no purpose to try hard because we will never reap the benefits from it. And I'm sure that sentiment is mutually shared among many people my age. Also, if you're English and your grandparents own 2 homes and only use one, I hate them. We have way too many people for that shit. Get your grandparents to give me their home, please. Can a young light skin get a handout? At least we have social housing, so that people that can't afford to buy a private house can own a public one instead. Oh, never mind. Another reason I hate this country is because getting a doctor's appointment is impossible. Since COVID, there are a limited amount of slots per day for GPs, and if you don't call at 8 AM when they open and beat the line of 500 old people crying about their cankle pain, you don't get an appointment. And if you do get an appointment, you won the lottery, but then you have to pray to God that the doctors don't say their scripted voice line of, "Drink more water, try to sleep more and come back if it gets worse." I'm convinced you could have your skin literally falling off of your face, and they will not prescribe you anything unless you fight for it. So good luck caring about your health, because doctors currently don't. This has led to Gen Z just living with health issues, as they see it as a waste of time going to the professionals to help them. Although this is likely a temporary issue, as it is probably going to fade away in the next couple of years, but it's still a big issue now. Overall, the UK is a great country, but it's held back by a bunch of stupid shit. We have new leadership now, so hopefully things change for the better, instead of having the Conservatives destroy everything for another 5 years. If you enjoyed the video, let me know, as I could honestly make an infinite number of videos complaining about the UK.
Come on, England! Score some fucking goals!
Thank you for watching and see you next time.